Hey guys, this video I'm going to be reviewing Arrow 102. If you guys enjoyed the review, hit the like button down below, subscribe for new, notifications on, let's get right into the review. So, it opened up with a really amazing fight scene, which I think is one of the, I wouldn't say one of the best, but it's definitely up there. With at least the coolest fight scenes I think we've ever had on air from what I remember. But I guess I'll say that when I'm done reviewing the show, all 170 episodes, but it was a pretty amazing fight scene. And I saw that fight scene on YouTube before. I didn't know it was in 102. So when I saw that, I was legitimately like, holy, like, I was not expecting that in the opening of 102. I was expecting that to be a season 2 fight scene, not really season 1. But nonetheless, I was very surprised to see it on season 1 and how well done it was done in season 1. Because there were some different season 1 and season 2 with the fight scenes, from what I remember at least. It was more advanced, it seemed like in season 2. But to see what it was in season 1, it was pretty damn cool to see that being done in season 1. But nonetheless, Oliver was fighting a bunch of criminals to go after a guy named Marcus Redmond. And he was forcing him to give money back to wherever he took it from. I didn't really catch it, but some housing unit or something he stole money from, he gave it back because of Oliver. The news is talking about Redmond returning the money. It said the vigilante helped, and that Oliver starts, and then Oliver, Thea, Moira, and Walter are all there. And then Oliver starts joking about the vigilante in that. Moira is not particularly impressed or approves of the vigilante and thinks that he, or do we know if it's a he? I'm assuming we do, right? There's a picture of him or something. But nonetheless, well, not a full-on picture, drawing or whatever, but that Moira doesn't approve of him and think that the vigilante is a criminal and all that and could go after them next. So, you know, Oliver mentions he's been in court before for several crimes. I think Tommy mentioned it while he was a billionaire douchebag. You know, but Oliver's going to court not for a crime per se, but to legally come back to the dead, as it was worded several times throughout the episode. A ton of paparazzi are outside the courthouse, basically harassing Oliver, asking him all these dumb questions nonstop about what happened on the island. Oliver tells the judge and the people in the I'm forgetting what they actually call it in court, but the bystanders in there that are sitting down behind the lawyers and that. And Oliver said that the boat went down, he was the only survivor, which isn't 100% accurate, but we do know that Oliver didn't really tell the entire truth, because if he did, it revealed that he is the vigilante, if you were to tell the full story. So, on some level, he had to cover that up. He couldn't tell the full story. Which we kind of knew in later seasons as well. It kind of backfired on him, but I mean, it lasted like 5-6 years without that actually coming out. So, you know, I think it said something. That like people didn't really, you know, were like, okay, we can't trust him on this. You know, he lived it, you know. He's not obviously joking about it. But nonetheless, and he also said that he should have died, which he probably should have. He more likely would have if Robert hadn't shot himself in the head and killed the other person. But, you know, which we do, I think in season 7 was someone's father. I don't remember. It's been a while. We'll get to it in like 100 and something weeks. It'll be a long time. The court moves to legally bring Oliver back to the life. You know, legally say he's not dead. They won't do the same for Robert, obviously. I don't know really what that was there. It was like, unfortunately, they can't do that for Robert. I'm assuming they were just saying that he's dead, he didn't come back like Oliver, and that's, you know, heavily unfortunate for the family. But at the same time, they got Oliver back. So I think that's what they were saying. It was kind of weird just to put that line in there, to me at least. I don't know. Moira wanted to take Oliver to the company, which in 101, he really wanted to go to the company. But Oliver persuaded her to not make him go to the company because it was too much for him and all that. Then we run into Laurel as Oliver and Tommy are leaving the building And Laurel's pissed off at Oliver for what he did last week, or the previous episode. Then we go to some guy is doing a news report outside the courthouse saying that Laurel's causing a witch hunt using his name, meaning she's going after him as a witch hunt and all that crap. And she's looking into him. The guy leaves and reporters instantly turn around and go towards Oliver, start asking all these dumb questions again. Well, they're not dumb. I mean, I say dumb because you're just harassing a guy who came back after 5 years, so they had to just explain what you just asked him in the courthouse, but, whatever. It's reporters, I don't want to tell you. Oliver got in the car, Dig and Tommy were there, and then Oliver, I guess, hopped in the driver's seat and just drove off and left Dig and Tommy, on the side of the road with their paparazzi. I mean, you can at least take Tommy. I know at this point, Oliver and Dig aren't that good friends or, whatever. But you could at least have taken Tommy. Screw Dig. Take your best friend. No. Obviously, this is a different Oliver than what, we got before the island. You know what I mean? There's that. You can tell that, obviously. I think Tommy realized that then there, too. And also Dig knew that for a little bit. Laurel is prosecuting Martin Summers for taking bribes from the Chinese Triad for smuggling drugs. This is the first mention of the Chinese Triad as is 102. But this is a repeating storyline of the Chinese Triad, just that group throughout 8 seasons. So we're going to be seeing them a lot over the next several seasons, or several episodes, I should say. Then it goes to Oliver working on the bunker. They really loved working him out in the bunker. Oliver said that Martin Summers is one of Star City's worst, and he's on the list. So, obviously, Oliver's just got to go after him now. Martin Summers wants the trial shut down. He's talking to one of his guys about it. And then Oliver takes down his people, like everyone in that room, and then threatens him to testify in the trial that he is, in fact, guilty. So, just so things don't escalate, he wants to get it done. Then we go to the Queen Mansion. Moira is disrespecting Dig for not protecting Oliver, and Oliver's excuse for him being gone, or for him escaping on more or less occasions, was that he was with someone, and Moira really wants Oliver to take Dig with him wherever he goes, just in case the vigilante shows up, or in case he gets attacked again. It's not a whole to-do thing. Dig and Oliver alone, Moira walked away from the conversation, and Dig threatens that if Oliver ditches him again, he won't have to be fired, he will quit. I think was the exact word. He didn't say he'll quit, he said he won't have to be fired. But he won't be his bodyguard anymore. Then we go to Oliver and Thea right after that scene after Dig leaves, and Oliver tries to convince Thea that dealing drugs isn't right, that's not what Robert would want. And Thea says a line that has been repeated several times throughout the show. The dead don't want anything. One of the benefits of being dead. It was, I think, repeated in season 8 and 801 by Tommy, which is kind of ironic if you really think about it. But seeing that line shift all the way to the final season. But it is Thea's line, and it was very well done, I think, in 102 and other episodes that it was done. And it really added more to her character with what we got in the early seasons, but also later on with Oliver, with his fate, that we know what it was. Quinn is obsessed with stopping the vigilante. I almost said the Hood, but he's not officially called the Hood yet, I don't think. But nonetheless, they're trying to stop the vigilante. The cops got involved with Martin Summers and he's dealing with the vigilante because someone called him in. And Martin's trying to play it off as if nothing happened with them, but they found an error on the scene. And Martin threatens Quentin that he doesn't want to know what will happen when Martin gets pushed over the edge. Like when he gets really heavily emotional about something or, really motivated, bad things can happen. So it was a threat. They can't really do anything about that. So, Oliver goes to the Queen Consolidated building with Walter and Moira and Dig, I think it was. And Walter wants to name a applied sciences building after Robert to honor him. And Oliver liked the idea. But then they wanted to give Oliver leadership of the Applied Sciences building, and Oliver does not want to take it. He says no right away. And Oliver snaps at Walter and Moira that they don't entirely understand what he's been through and what's going on with him. Moira and Walter leave, and Oliver's leaving Queen Consolidated and just gets harassed again by reporters because they're following him everywhere. They can never get in the car, and Dig tells Oliver home is a battlefield, trying to get him to open up and be someone he's not anymore. That's what his family's doing. And because obviously Dig, he's done a lot for the military and that, so he knows in some level what it's like, but not really for Oliver, but he can relate to what Dig is saying because of what he's been through. That was complicated, but you should know what I mean. It was a really good scene nonetheless. Goes to a flashback on the island. There's animals eating away at Robert's body. They have a bag over his head because he's been shot in the head. You can't show that on television. And also, why would Oliver want to look at his father with a bullet in his head? Or a bullet hole in his head? Did I say butthole? I don't think I said... God. I might have said butthole. I don't... Bullet hole. If it's not like I said butthole... Yeah. Probably did. That's gonna either be a clip or a short that I'll make. Probably. Wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't just backtrack on what I just said to realize what the hell I just said. Oliver shoves the animals away from Robert and picks up his body to get it away and to bring it, someplace where it wouldn't be, destroyed or anything. Or, just eaten. The daughter of the man that Martin Summers killed is pushing for Laurel and the DA to continue this trial because I think they were debating quitting or something because everything that's going on. But Laurel decided that they're going to continue doing it. Quentin comes in and gives around-the-clock police protection for Laurel, her friend, and the daughter of the person that Martin killed. Quentin tells Laurel that Martin was attacked the previous night. Didn't say by who, didn't say, how. Just said that he was attacked and is worried that they're going to go after Laurel and the others. The leader, the Chinese Triad, comes to talk to Martin Summers. She wants to target Louisianti's daughter. I don't know how you say his name, but that's the person they killed. And Martin is pushing for the vigilante for them to attack him because they know if they go after the daughter, Laura will never let this go. And they'll make sure he gets prosecuted. And then the Chinese Triad leader, she offers to kill Laurel. That way there's no more problems. And then they can do whatever the hell they want. On some level. Oliver's teaching shirts in the Queen Mansion, and Thea comes in and sees all his scars. She's stunned by it. Oliver doesn't want to talk about what happened to him on the island. Surprise, surprise. It took him 8 years. Thea wants to show Oliver the graves of Robert and Oliver. When they believe they had died, they put graves up in their backyard. I would assume it's their backyard. Somewhere around there. Thea said that she would come out to talk to Oliver at his graves, and obviously not legitimately Oliver. Just, if you have a family that's passed, and, it's a close family member, you tend to go out to the grave and just pretend, not only pretend, but you talk to them, and feel like you're talking to them. That's what that was. Thea tells Oliver that he should talk to someone. If he won't talk to Thea, he should talk to someone at least. And so then Oliver ends up going to Laurel, surprise, surprise, and he brought ice cream that he wanted to eat with Laurel that he thought about on the island for doing since he arrived, was eating ice cream with Laurel. Laurel tells Oliver he should show to Moira the person he really is. If she won't listen to him, show her who he really is. Oliver heard something, and I replayed it. You could kind of hear like a little footstep, it sounded like, or a little like, it was really quiet. And you need really, really, truly good hearing to hear it. But you could hear this a little sound effect in the background. It was, again, really quiet. But I heard it, so it wasn't just oh, what's that? There's no noise though, but what's that? No, there was a noise. You just probably couldn't hear it if you don't have really good hearing. Or if you didn't replay it 10 times. For some people. So... the Triad guys break in, the leader of the Triad's there. Dig comes in, takes down the guys, and Dig and the lady that's controlling the Triad are fighting, and the Triad leader has him pinned down, about to kill him, and Oliver has a kitchen knife that he throws and hits her in the head and knocks her unconscious. And, Dig's asking if they're okay, they are, and she left, and the Triad leader left and all that. Then the cops come, Quinn put on, the cops that Quinn put on for Laurel's protection are dead. Dig saw them, they were dead when he came in. Quinn actually thanks Dig for, protecting them, but Dig said that his job is to protect Oliver Queen, not Laurel Lance, so that's why he did all that. And then Quinn bites Oliver's head off and says that he should stay away from Laurel Lights. He's going to disappear again. This time will be permanent. Then it goes to Queen Mansion with Oliver giving Dig bandages. Dig saw Oliver throw the knife. It's a kitchen knife, which is something to point out because kitchen knives can be really hard to throw, and it's not just luck, as Oliver was saying. Dig knows that. He's not an idiot. Like, to throw a kitchen knife, you need, and to hit it precisely where you want to hit, you need, like, a really good arm and a really good specific angle to hit that. So it wasn't just, I got lucky, I threw it, thank God I didn't land on the floor. Like, no, I hit her in the head, knocked her unconscious, enough for you to get away and her to get away, and no one got hurt. Like, no, Oliver can't just play that off. Now with Dig, with all the experience he's had, maybe with Quentin, or, Laurel, but definitely not with Dig, who's been through more than, I wouldn't say more than Oliver has at this point, but who knows. From what we know right now, he's been through more, but what we find out later, probably not. The Triad is going to try to erase every count of evidence, including Martin, because everything blew up in their faces. Oliver shows up, Martin's running scared, then it goes back to Laurel's apartment with Quentin telling Laurel to drop this case. Laurel wants to protect the city like Quentin does. Then we go back to Oliver, he's taking down Martin's men, and he goes after Summers and pins him against a wall. Martin said the Triad killed the guy, and he ordered the Triad to kill the guy. And he actually recorded it, which we found out later. The leader of the Triad shows up speaking Chinese. Oliver spoke it right back, and they start fighting. The PD sent to the location. Quinn catches up to Oliver. Obviously, he has the hood. And Oliver disarms Quinn right away and leaves a recording of Martin confessing to what he did. There's a ceremony for the new Applied Sciences building. Laurel and Tommy are there. Oliver shows up drunk to show, who he really is, to not be leadership of the company. At least pretends to. It really looked like he pretended to, because you could tell when he was leaving that he wasn't really drunk, but it looked like he was, so he did pretty good there. But Martin was arrested for everything he did. Quinn got grilled for letting the Archer get away. Laurel's trying to defend the Archer because she thinks that he's trying to help the city. Oliver crossed Martin's name off the list. It goes back to the island. Oliver put down Robert's body. It's an empty book. It's a list with no wording. And there's like a really specific symbol on it. And then Moira meets up with someone she hired, or someone along those lines, and he said that Oliver doesn't know the Queen boat was sabotaged, and some guy held up a book or something with the same exact symbol from the list. Somehow these two people are connected. We know how, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. Oliver visits Robert's grave, and he hired people to take down his gravestone. Oliver's gravestone, not Robert's, Oliver's. And he goes back to the island with Oliver burying Robert, and then he gets shot with an arrow. You can see it going right through the right side of his chest, and we know who it is. Obviously, it's Yellow Faye who shot him. But nonetheless, it was very cool to see. Because I never actually saw that scene before. There are a lot of season 1 scenes that I didn't see, because I didn't really pay attention to season 1 that much when I was first watching it. So to go back through and actually pay attention to it, it was pretty cool. Nonetheless, it was a very good episode. I don't know, a 7 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it also wasn't that great. You know what I mean? There were good moments, bad moments. It was like, like, why is this happening? But it was a pretty good episode, I think. So, yeah. I'm going to be, like I said in the last video, I'm going to be doing these reviews on Mondays. Only reason I did it Tuesday night last week was because I didn't have time Monday. If that does so happen again, it'll be pushed back to whenever I can do it. I do want to do at least one review a week. The main dates would be Mondays. That's what I'm planning for. Things can change later on. Depends when the shows are on, like Flash and Stargirl. But Stargirl's on Wednesdays, so I don't have to worry about that. That's why I am doing it on Mondays, because I figured it would be. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.